everyone. It is time for our football report with Otis Kirk. He is joining me right now. And Otis, let's start out with J.J. Hollingsworth, the guy from Greenland. He's already actually committed to Arkansas, but
Oh
he had
yeah,
a big weekend.
yeah, he did. I saw him play last night, Tara, and he was really good. They beat Cedarville 28-26, game that they were up 28-12 in the fourth quarter, and Cedarville came back. But Greenland hung in there, and they've got a good team. They moved to 6-2 on the season. They've only lost one conference game, but they JJ didn't have big stats, but one of the reasons is they continuously run to the other side. If he's on this side, they go to that side, and in some ways, I feel like it's kind of like he's getting an assist because he's kind of the other team is being one dimensional. They went at him once or twice, and he tackled them for a loss in the backfield, got tackled for loss. He's a good football player. Arkansas got a good one. He's 6'4", 250. He's in 2022. As you said, he's one of the three commitments for the Razorbacks in that class, and they did well. And the biggest thing about JJ, though, he's from a great family and just a good person. And so beyond football, he's going to be a success as well, as well as in football too.
Well, let's talk about Jaden Williams, a guy from Conway, offensive lineman, and he actually moved from playing tight end. It looks like it's paying off for him.
Yeah, I saw him play last week against Northside, against Drayden Norwood and those guys. And, Conway's got a really good team. They've lost two games. They've lost to North Little Rock and they've lost to Bentonville. And both those teams are undefeated, Tara, and they've got a game this week, and then they play against Little Rock Catholic, I believe it is, and then they play Bryant in the finals game of the regular season, another undefeated team. So they're playing some outstanding. They're playing the best teams in Arkansas, and and Jaden is about 6'5", 265. He was the key that helped them get to the state championship game in basketball last year before it got canceled. They were going to play Little Rock Central. He was driving on that team. He's a great two-sport star. But yeah, he played tight end, and he was kind of just another guy out there they looked at as a blocker and stuff. They moved him in to tackle when a player got hurt. He's really excelling there. So I think that was a great move for him. Missouri and Kansas, UCA, schools have taken notice of that move to the offensive line, and it's paid off. They've offered him scholarship. He's up to 6 right now. Henderson, where I went to schools, offered him Ouachita Baptist, McNeese, and then the 3 schools I mentioned. But Missouri and Kansas and UCA are the 3 really big schools that have offered him. But he's going to get more offers. He's not finished getting offered. He's just now getting really from getting his tight end film out, to the offensive tackle film. Once that starts getting out more, he's going to get more offers. And like I said, he's got outstanding footwork, 2 sports, not just a 2-sport athlete, but a 2-sport standout. And there's a big difference there. Yeah. So like I said, he's stud in basketball too. So it's good. Somebody's going to get a great player there, and we'll see if Arkansas jumps in the mix later on. I have heard him compared favorably to Colton Jackson and Robert Scott, 2 players from Conway. One went to Florida State, Scott, and of course Colton was a great player at Arkansas, coaching him now down there at Conway. But I've heard people who are familiar with Conway compare him favorably to both of those kids. So we'll see.
Not a bad comparison right there. All right.
He's in this conversation with those 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty. So, yeah.
Well, schools are definitely taking notice of James Joyner right now, running back, and he seems to be getting attention from a lot of people.
Yeah, he's got that Arkansas offer. He's got a bunch of offers, Florida State, and he's got a ton of offers. But the biggest thing about James is he's just junior, another 2022 kid. But the biggest thing about him is he's able to run with power, able to run with speed. He had last night against Russellville a 33-3 win. He had 241 yards of total offense, 150 rushing, 91 receiving, had a couple of touchdowns. He has picked up a lot. He and Landon Rogers have picked up a lot of the slack with Aaron Outley out with the knee injury. And so James is they're 5-1. They missed a couple of games with COVID. The team did 2 or 3 games there they missed because of COVID. So they're probably going to play an 8-game regular season. But James is just I like him. Coach, his coach down there told me that he feels like he's an elite running back, not just a good one, but Coach Boulding said he feels like he's an elite running back. And I asked James about that, over to Monster Camp. He said, I don't like to brag on myself, but he said, I feel like I am an elite running back. I'm not just because James is a kid, he's a lot like Darren McFadden and a lot of these other running backs that you hear about. You could take him, plug him in at safety, and have probably an All-American safety, but he's going to play running back, and that's what he should play. But he's the type player that could play a lot of positions for you. He can play receiver. I mean, he had 91 yards catches last night, but you could put him at other positions. But, he's a elite running back, so you leave him at running back. But, there's no doubt in my mind Darren McFadden could have been All-American at about 4 or 5 positions. And I'm not saying James is as good as Darren, but I'm just saying he's a very good running back who's an elite athlete and running back.
Well, lastly, Arkansas has put out an offer for Deandra Burns from El Dorado, sophomore wide receiver. What can you tell us about him?
Well, here's a kid that's not very big. He's about 5'11", about 148 pounds, but he's strong. He works in the weight room. He's afraid to put on too much weight because he's a sprinter in track. And so he doesn't want to get real heavy. But, last night they got beat 33-7 by Sylvan Hills, but he had 4 catches for 60 yards. He scored their long touchdown last night, Tara, in the game. So he had 4 catches for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. So he's just a very fast player on the season. He's caught 40 passes, 508 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's 2023. God, it's hard to keep up with all these years. 2023 kid, third one in the state with an offer. Shamar Easter's got an offer. And, of course, the running back, Darian Bennett over at Jacksonville, who was at Parkview when Arkansas offered him, but he's at Jacksonville now. But those are the 3 kids in the 2023 class that's got offers to Arkansas. There's going to be some more in that class. There's some talent in that class. I wrote about Gary and Curry earlier in the week. But, but those are all good players, all good players in the state of Arkansas. So we talked about 4 Arkansas kids today.
All right. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for our football report. Otis, thanks so much for your time, and thanks for all your insight as well. It's always great talking to you.
Thanks, Tara.